Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Veterans Affairs Office of the Inspector General issued a report last Wednesday on their investigation into the nearly 14,000 veteran benefits claims that were found in a filing cabinet in Oakland, California. Last year, these claims were brought to our attention by VA staff members who have known about these claims for many years. This, despite their best efforts to raise awareness of the injustice on how these claims were being handled. In July 2014, the former Deputy Undersecretary of the VA for Field Operations testified before the House Committee on Veterans Affairs that 14,000 claims that were found in a file cabinet had been brokered so that they would receive attention by the VA's highest performing offices. Just 2 weeks prior to that, on a site visit to the Oakland VA, the regional told me that these 14,000 claims basically never existed. As a matter of fact, they claimed it was a story made up by disgruntled employees. The VA's Office of Inspector General investigation confirmed the discovery of 14,000 claims in a filing cabinet, confirmed that some of these claims dated back to the 1990s, confirmed that thousands of these claims had not been processed, and confirmed that the staff at Oakland VA had not been directed to properly store these claims. Oakland VA's management claimed, after my visit, that they then had discovered 13,184 veteran benefits claims and 2,155 claims which required action or review. But during an on-site review, Office of Inspector General could not confirm the existence of these claims due to the Oakland VA's management's poor record-keeping practices. How was the Oakland VA able to arrive at such exact numbers without maintaining records that allowed the OIG to verify the existence of these claims? It just doesn't make sense, and we have to get to the bottom of these numbers. The VA is required by law to respond to every initial claim they receive to safeguard federal records and to protect private information of the veterans they work with. When the Oakland VA managers discovered the 2,155 claims were more than several years old and required action review, a special projects team was formed to complete this urgent task. Members of this team have told my staff that many of those claims belonged to veterans who had passed away while waiting for their benefits to be processed, and their families were never contacted. Inexplicably, the Office of the Inspector General later discovered that 537 initial claims that had been marked by this special team as processed were never actually processed. Some of these claims were as old as June 2002. Yet another troubling instance of the Oakland VA management failed to provide the type of service Northern California veterans deserve. The VA's Office of Inspector General reviewed only 34 of these unprocessed claims, though for some reason they declined to select a random sample. Instead, the 34 claims were selected judiciously, which doesn't really make any sense. Of the 34 claims that were reviewed by the Inspector General's office, 7 still remain unprocessed. In fact, though, these claims had been reviewed several times from December 2012 to June 2014 without any action being taken. In one instance, a veteran with PTSD was underpaid almost $3,000 because his initial claim was not processed correctly. This and many other examples like that. This type of dysfunction and complete lack of oversight and accountability cannot continue. Not in Oakland, not at any of the VA regional offices across the country. Sadly, this report sheds very little light on who is being held accountable or who should be held accountable for these failures, and is incomplete. I am grateful the report was done, that the Inspector General did delve into this issue with Oakland and many other offices. But in the fact that no real conclusions were made of who's to be held accountable, much work remains to be done. We must continue to search for these answers and work to make sure the VA regional offices are properly serving our veterans. I'm also grateful, on the positive, for the many staff members of the VA, many of them former veterans themselves, that they do care about this, and they process many of these claims. They make sure veterans are served. But we see there's a lot of holes in this system, obviously, that are making many veterans not have the confidence that they're going to be served, that they're going to get their claims processed, or indeed get health care if they need it later. Indeed, the tragedy we have, where anywhere from 12 to 22 veterans give up each day in this country, commit suicide, have no hope left of having the promise kept to them, shows that we have much to do. So I'm grateful for those VA staffers that come to us with blowing the whistle on what's wrong with the system, when they can't get help, when they can't get help from their management to make things right. So we ask them, please keep coming forward. Contact my office, contact my staff on what needs to be done to get the word out to help make this right. Because we want the VA to function well. We want the employees to feel like they're part of a system that is serving veterans and to have a good relationship within their office, but also ultimately to serve what we need as taxpayers, as Americans that revere our veterans. Mr. Speaker, I yield back.